So this is the Tecno Camon 18 Premier. Now that is a solid design. What up guys, my name is Izzy and welcome to the channel. Yep, this here is the Camon 18 Premier just released by Tecno. I've had the opportunity of using this one for a couple of days and a few things stand out about this device. The Phantom X aside, this is probably the best designed smartphone from Tecno Mobile, but we'll get back to that. First, let's finish that unboxing. Within the box of the Tecno Camon 18 Premier, you will find all of its accessories with none missing. There is a transparent protective casing which has Camon branded on it. There is also your warranty card. You're also going to get a 33W fast charger. The SIM ejector tool, USB-C cable and earphones are bundled together. You will also find a screen protector pre-installed on the device. That is all you get in the box. The Camon 18 Premier currently retails for 182,000 naira, and at that price you will get a massive 8GB of RAM, 256GB of storage, a gimbal camera system which I think is a first for this budget range, a periscope lens with 60x zoom capacity, 120Hz AMOLED display, and it is powered by the Mediatek Helio G96. With these specs, it already feels like a massive upgrade over the Camon 17 Pro we saw just a few months ago. But the upgrades are mostly in display, cameras, its processor, and of course, the design. That is plenty of upgrades if you ask me, but I guess actual performance is what counts. Now there are two other devices released alongside the Camon 18 Premier, and that is the Camon 18P and the regular Camon 18. They both retail for 128,000 naira and 102,000 naira respectively. I'll probably be reviewing one of those, that is if I can get my hands on it. The Camon 18 Premier is quite an attractive device thanks to its design. This is the polar night color. There is also vast sky, but I'll say this is the best color to get. Depending on what angled light hits it, you will get a slightly brighter color. The Tecno Camon logo is placed minimally towards the bottom right of the rear. It has a huge camera bump for its triple rear cameras. You have this fine red ring around the camera in the middle. That is actually the ultra wide camera which should have gimbal level stabilization, but we'll find out soon enough. The Camon 18 Premier has glass build on both its display and the rear, but I'm not certain what level of glass protection, and I sure do not want to drop it to find out. The rear finish is somewhat matte, it feels nice and it does a good job at hiding smudges, though not by 100%. It has a glossy frame which houses its ports and buttons. The volume rocker keys are split and just below them you will find the power button which also hosts the fingerprint scanner which I find easy to reach, responsive and accurate most of the time. The headphone jack, primary microphone, USB-C port and a speaker grill is at the bottom. Yep, no stereo speakers, just a bottom firing mono one which is loud and actually sounds great. You have just the secondary mic at the top and there is nothing else. The SIM tray is on the left frame. It is not the conventional SIM tray we have seen with other Tecno devices. It is quite portable and it still manages to accept dual nano SIM cards and a micro SD card. The Camon 18 Premier has a 1080p AMOLED display, a good upgrade from the LCD display we saw on the Camon 17 series. It is a good looking AMOLED display with really vibrant colors. It does not have the option to tone down the vibrancy, and that would have been nice as I find this to be quite high in saturation. It is a 6.7 inches display with a center hole punch for its 32 megapixel selfie camera. It can get bright up to 550 nits, which is just enough, but brighter would have definitely been better. That is not all for its display specifications. The Camon 18 Premier boasts a 120Hz screen refresh rate, something not even the Phantom X was able to get, and that really improves the scrolling and animation experience here. By default it is set at auto, but you can scale down to 60 for better battery life or 120Hz for maximum performance. Being an AMOLED display, you also get always on display customization options which you might find useful. And speaking of customization, the Camon 18 Premier comes with a new version of iOS, that is iOS 8.0 on Android 11. iOS 8.0 brings mostly visual changes. It looks neater and better than previous versions of iOS. It is still not void of bloatwares though. You will get them plenty. Ads are also still present but subtle and not as aggressive. You see a major change in the notification pull down. The quick panel icons are now separate from the notifications. It looks just like something straight out of MIUI. So you swipe down from the top. If you swipe down from the left side, you will get your notifications, and if you swipe down from the right side, you'll get the quick panel tiles. You will get a couple of customization options via the special functions settings menu. You still get features like game mode, app twin, and my favorite, which is speak proof. Tecno's voice assistant Ella, which we first saw on the Phantom X, is also available here. It is still functional, not as advanced as Google's assistant, but it works well to carry out a couple of basic commands. So Tecno has said there will be an Android 12 upgrade for the Camon 18 Premier, and that will be really interesting to see. Like, this is something we have been requesting for Tecno for a very long time. Now the Camon 18 Premier is capable of handling whatever you throw at it. 8 GB of RAM is plenty sufficient to handle your multitasking needs. The Mediatek Helio G96 powering the Camon 18 Premier is a new SoC released earlier this year, more of a slight upgrade to the Helio G95. From benchmark tests using Geekbench and Antutu, it shows impressive scores. You will naturally expect high gaming performance from a Mediatek G series chipset. I tried 2 games here and it plays smoothly for the most part, no heating or lags. On Call of Duty Mobile, I was only able to play at medium settings. This chipset is capable of playing at higher graphics settings, so I'm not sure why. Regardless, on medium settings the gameplay was lag-free. On PUBG Mobile, you can play at HD and high frame rates. The gameplay here was also lag-free. The battery on the Tecno Camon 18 Premier is 4750 mAh, which is a slight downgrade from the 5000 mAh battery we got on its predecessor, but it still lasts long enough for a whole day of normal use without needing to charge. And speaking of charging, the 33W charger in the box of the Camon 18 Premier charges it up to 63% in just 30 minutes, and you will get a full charge in an hour and 5 minutes. This is from my test. Now let's take a look at those cameras, which is a major selling point of the Camon 18 Premier. Now it packs a triple rare combination of a 64 megapixel main camera, a 12 megapixel ultra wide camera with gimbal stabilization, and an 8 megapixel telephoto camera with 5x optical zoom. There is no macro camera here. The selfie camera on the Camon 18 Premier is 32 megapixels. Let's first start with the gimbal camera. To access and use it, you need to switch to ultra wide. Now on ultra wide, without enabling ultra steady mode, it does decent with stabilization even when I jog while capturing a video. But when I enable ultra steady mode, you swear it actually does it much better. It maintains stability even when I jog. The video from this camera is capped at 1080p. The main camera of the Camon 18 Premier takes some good looking photos with good color reproduction. The ultra-wide camera sometimes appears to have more saturation than the main camera photos. You can get up to 60x zoom using the telephoto camera, but you get the best results at 5x. Anything past 5x will look grainy. Here are some photos taken at 5x, 30x, and 60x zoom. There's also Super Moon, that is a mode which allows you to take better photos of the moon, but I could not test that feature because the moon is not out yet. But I'll definitely test it later on when I see the moon, and we'll post that picture on Twitter, so make sure you're following me on there. And I will also post that picture in another review of the Camon 18 Premier, so make sure you also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that video. Now the Camon 18 Premier does not have a macro camera, but you can take some close-up shots with its main camera as it is able to focus on close subjects. Its 32 megapixel selfie camera takes some really good photos. Thanks to HDR, it doesn't lose the skies in normal selfies. I can't say the same for portrait selfies though. While it does a good job with subject separation, when you have the skies in the background it is overexposed. When you don't, it looks great. For video on its main camera, you are only able to record up to 2K, there is no 4K recording. I'm not sure why, but the G96 is capable of handling 4K 30fps video recording. Its software stabilization is decent, and when you enable ultra steady, it does really impressive with stabilization. Okay, so this is the Tecno Camon 18 Premier, and you are looking at a video from its 32 megapixel selfie camera, and it's currently shooting at 2K. That is the maximum you can go from both its selfie and rear cameras. Actually, I'm surprised because I would expect that it should be able to do 4K, but yeah, 2K is the maximum we get. You currently do not have OIS on the selfie camera. You do get the gimbal camera or one of the rear cameras, and you have to switch to ultra steady mode to do that on the rear camera. What do you think? The Tecno Camon 18 Premier is a solid device and certainly one of the better devices Tecno has made so far. I like its design, particularly the polar night color. I also like the UI improvements to iOS, and I would love to see what the Android 12 upgrade will bring. Its cameras are great but could still use some improvements. A gimbal camera should be able to achieve good stability without having to enable ultra steady mode, and hopefully a software update can bring 4K 30fps recording. So what do you think about the Tecno Camon 18 Premier? I'd like to know your thoughts, so leave a comment in the comment section. And if this video was helpful to you, do not forget to hit the like so YouTube can recommend this to more people, and also consider subscribing to the channel if you have not subscribed. Till the next one, peace.